The Plutocratic Republic of America. Very soon, every American will be required to register their biological property in a national system designed to keep track of the people and that will operate under the ancient system of pledging. By such methodology, we can compel people to submit to our agenda, which will affect our security as a chargeback for our fiat paper currency. Every American will be forced to register or suffer not being able to work and earn a living. They will be our chattel, and we will hold the security interest over them forever. By operation of the law merchant under the scheme of secure transactions, Americans, by unknowingly or unwittingly delivering the bill of lading to us, would be rendered bankrupt and insolvent, forever to remain economic slaves through taxation secured by their pledges. They will be stripped of their rights and given a commercial value designed to make us a profit, and they will be none the wiser. For not one man in a million could ever figure our plans, and if by accident one or two would figure it out, we have in our arsenal plausible deniability. After all, this is the only logical way to fund government, by floating liens and debt to the registrants, in the form of benefits and privileges. This will inevitably reap to us huge profits beyond our wildest expectations and leave every American a contributor, or to this fraud we call social insurance. Without realizing it, every American will insure us for any loss we may incur, and in this manner every American will unknowingly be our servant. However begrudgingly, these people will become helpless and without any hope for their redemption, and we employ the high office of the president of our dummy corporation to foment this plot against America. A quote from Edward Mandell House. This is what America is now, a corporation. Definition of corporation: a body that is granted a charter recognizing it as a separate legal entity, having its own rights, privileges, and liabilities distinct from those of its members. The plutocrats are the heads of this corporation and have privileges in which exemptions are granted to persons in authority or office, and the common people are their members. America is supposed to be a republic. Definition of republic: ruled by a form of government in which the people, or some significant portion of them, have supreme control over the government, and where offices of state are elected or chosen by elected people. But since the common people are no longer in control, and America has converted to a corporation where only the extremely wealthy are in office, this is called a plutocracy. Definition of plutocracy: a system of governance composed of the wealthy class. If all of the elected representatives in a republic are wealthy, then it is a republic and a plutocracy. And to make sure the plutocrats stay in power, they employ a security force to enforce all the rules and regulations which, keep in mind, are different for its officials than those of its members. And to further the plutocrats' control are the appointments of bureaucrats. Definition of bureaucrat: an official who works by fixed routine without exercising intelligent judgment. These plutocrats continue to inform us, common people, that America is a capitalistic system. Definition of capitalism: economic system in which the means of production and distribution are privately or corporately owned, and development is proportionate to the accumulation and reinvestment of profits gained in a free market. But since plutocrats are in charge and control the corporation, what we really have is a crony capitalistic system. Definition of crony capitalism: a term describing an economy in which success in business depends on close relationships between business people and government officials. These plutocrats also separate and control common people by the use of propagandists. Definition of propagandist: a person involved in producing or spreading propaganda. In the meaning of propaganda: information, ideas, or rumors deliberately spread widely to help or harm a person, group, movement, institution, nation, etc. These propagandists are strategically placed in television, radio, print, movies, news, etc. And do not be fooled, both Democrats and Republicans engage in this propaganda. separating the common people for their own gain and power. The plutocrats also have complete control of the banking system, controlling every aspect of your money. These institutions also control the amount of interest they can charge you on a loan and whether or not you have to put up collateral, which the banks hope you default to obtain the collateral. Thomas Jefferson said, "I sincerely believe with you that banking establishments are more dangerous than standing armies, and that the principle of spending money to be paid by posterity under the name of funding is but swindling futurity on a large scale." The plutocrats also control the judiciary system, which, to be honest, no one knows how many laws exist, but there are the volumes of the statutes at large. The statutes at large contain all the federal laws passed by the U.S. Congress. All these volumes of laws are all created to control the common people. This is not the government our founding fathers had envisioned, but thankfully, to their divine foreseeing, our founding fathers have given the common people the blueprint to rectify this situation. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of the ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experiences have shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces of design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Declaration of Independence. Jefferson said once every 20 years was a medicine necessary for the sound health of government. And James Madison said, "The people have an indubitable, unalienable, and indefeasible right to reform or change their government whenever it be found adverse or inadequate to the purpose of its institution." Common people should be cognizant and ready to give their all to uphold the right and duty given to them by the Declaration of Independence.